Could Barcelona be moving to Ligue 1? Ligue 1 being the French Premier League. And it is a topic which goes into politics a little bit. We don't like to mix politics and sports as much as possible, but
it's impossible.
It's impossible to get away with it when you look at Catalonia and their movement towards independence. Yes, a state in Spain is actually looking to gain their independence. Isn't that funny? When given the chance to get their independence, they're going to take it with both hands and actually try to grasp it. And yes, I am opening wounds to Scotland's failed attempt at independence. But
firmly grasp it in your hand.
Firmly grasp it and actually not be the first country to reject their own independence, which Scotland did. The first country. But we're not going to get into politics because I'll get really upset. And before you know it, some famous speeches will come out along the lines of you may take our lives.
I'm here to talk about sport.
Yeah, we're here to talk about sports. So, all right, so to give you I don't want to get into it too much. Briefly, they didn't get majority of seats, and they fell a few short, but Catalan leader Artur Mas Igavaro, as a jubilant crowd waved, he said, "We won," because today they're going to push forward. They didn't win the majority of seats, but they definitely made a great claim to get their own independence. Now, what this will mean, they have to go ahead and basically have a battle, which is funny because it's like Catalonia against Madrid. It's where the two biggest teams, Real Madrid and Barcelona, are playing. Politically, they're going now to try and get their own independence. Having their referendum reject before, it's a big step now, and they could well and truly have their own independence as a sovereign state. But what will this mean for the biggest rivalry in world football? Now, there's a few perspectives there online. There's a few perspectives there about, this would be great to even up the French league, because the French National League has said that they will accept Barcelona if they were to, in fact, be sovereign.
By the way, absolutely genius business move by their prime minister, I think it was, that made that claim. Because I haven't seen it from anywhere else. If you're the Premier League, why aren't you coming out and saying, we'll take we'd love to have Barcelona in our league? Granted, they might get beaten.
It just comes down to the traveling.
Look, I understand the traveling, but you have the ability. Look, there's a reason Messi's transfer fee is so ridiculously high. In the last 2 years, 2 La Liga winners, Barcelona and Real Madrid, in terms of winning the Champions League. In terms of the business move of it, I'm surprised that the other leagues haven't even come out with the offer to bring, technically, it's a way of finally getting Messi back to the Premier League.
Yeah, without actually
not getting him back, but getting him to the Premier League in the first place, or the Serie A, or, who cares? Bring him to the MLS. We'll take him.
All right, so today's away day.
I'm sorry, we won't take him. We won't take him. We'll just take the whole team.
Yeah, so today's away game, LA Galaxy, we're going to go to Barcelona. We're going to go to Barcelona and play, actually. So it's a 15-hour commute on a plane.
Not bad. Granted, it's a completely in contradiction to my...
Talks about the NFL.
The NFL coming to London.
Because of the travel and
here's the thing.
Else,
so, if League One does this, then is there really no El Clasico?
So this is
except for a Champions League, or it would have to be a Champions League.
So many people are going.
And what about the Copa del Rey? They don't play in the Copa del Rey anymore, even though they're in.
Many people are going to be like, this is a ridiculous conversation. It's not a ridiculous conversation because this could well and truly happen from a political standpoint, and then they have no other option either to play in that league as a sovereign state, and therefore
does the team have a say in this?
Well,
do the players and coaches have a say?
I think they play. Well, I mean, the thing is, politically in Spain, with Catalonia and Barcelona, they're very well tied together. Same way with Madrid and their political influence in their team. So there will be talks about this. But for me, I don't want to see this happen. You cannot split Real Madrid and Barcelona. It's the most watched rivalry, I would say, in the world, and I don't want it to happen. I think that La Liga, as much as this, people may say, it would maybe free up some of the competition throughout. No, it wouldn't, because Real Madrid would therefore just take up that role. If not, they've already been in that role. Atletico Madrid would just grow stronger.
PSG, Barcelona would be great.
It would be good for Ligue 1 to have a competition outside of PSG now because they've been dominant. But in the past, they've still had teams there that would compete. Lyon, Marseille, Monaco.
Yeah.
They still get good teams there that compete. So I don't think that this would be the best option. But what I do want to reiterate is that this isn't just some fad that people are starting online for people to talk about. This can actually happen if this does happen politically. Now, I still, in terms of probability, I mean, I would say that it's still it's a 70% chance that Barcelona still stay in play in La Liga. They'll come to some sort of agreement even if this does happen because for there's so much things that are tied into it, like La Liga, the share of wealth, Barcelona to remove themselves from La Liga would lose a lot of revenue, the team, because we know about how Real Madrid and Barcelona control the majority of the TV rights in La Liga football, and a lot of the lower teams don't get as big a piece of the pie as they do.
Wonder why.
Well, of course. And people are...
It's not, by the way, that's not much different in American sports when you see like the primetime schedule games of, I'll stick to the NBA, seeing there's a big following overseas for that, like the Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron James and Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. There's a reason they get primetime games on ESPN and TNT.
And I'm not one of these people who are, again, to say are delusional and think that everyone should get an equal piece. Like, that's not the way the world works.
That's not business.
It'd be a good world if it did work that way. If Celtic got the same television rights as Manchester United.
Yeah, Celtics do get a lot of television rights in America.
And I can't even argue that now because, like, my Celtic team, as much as I love them as well, I'm in amongst an environment where every time I say I support Celtic, I use
Plural.
Boston.
Plural.
Boston?
Celtics.
Celtics.
Doc
But I do want to pose a question to the audience. Is like, what in this rare, strange, almost unable to comprehend, what am I saying with my words, scenario, do you think this would work out? Who would benefit from this? Would Ligue 1 grow to be the best league in the world if Barcelona were to come in and challenge alongside PSG? What would happen to La Liga? Would Real Madrid suddenly become the Celtic of the La Liga, where they would just be the really rare competition?
Their only competition would be Atletico Madrid, and like the goal differential wouldn't even be close. Wouldn't even be close. Please. As Ben makes, please,
come on.
Please,
well, I just in my to give my final gavel. I wish I had that gavel over here. I just don't want it to happen because no one wants to split up the rivalry. Yes, you could talk about what happens if they meet in the Champions League. It would make it all that better. But no.
Last if November 21st, for whatever reason, I think that's the date, is the last El Clasico.
Well, they have to play each other twice. They'd have to wait till the end of the season. They couldn't take them out mid-season.
Be amazing.
They'd have to play each other again. That would, yeah, but you're right. It would be a great spectacle.
The second to last El Clasico.
I don't want it to happen. Don't do it, but do fight for your independence and make sure that you go ahead and move forward. And I was going to move into some inspirational speech about independence, but I'll just leave it out.
You right to party.
That is a good way to finish it up. What do you guys think? Leave all your comments in the section below. JasonRubin91 on Twitter, Francis_Maxwell. Subscribe to TYT Sports. You don't get sports content like this anywhere else. We know.